Darkest greetings, horror sci-fi and Frankenstein fans. Drew here from Horror Sci-Fi and Beyond, and we're here to do another new release review for Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride, her new reimagining of the Bride of Frankenstein story. And for the first time in our new release series, we got all three of us together. We got Mr. Eric White and Jack Narber. How's it going, guys?
Howdy, y'all.
How's it going?
Doing pretty good,
I feel
man.
like when you say the title of this movie, you got to say The Bride.
The
Right.
bride.
With an
It's got an
exclamation point.
exclamation point.
Or,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or I can just say how
Bride. Bride.
I can say it how Mary Sally said it in the movie. I can say it in the motherfucking bride.
that's it.
That was all put in her seeing hearing Mary Shelley drop the F bomb. I mean I'm know the word was around back in her time, but it was just odd.
Movie makes some choices.
Yes,
A
we'll
lot
get
of
into that.
choices, like right off the bat too. Like jumping right in.
But yeah, let's get into the episode and
Mhm.
the plot summary for The Bride, according to the Internet Movie Database. In 1930 Chicago, Frankenstein asked Dr. Euphorius to help create a companion. They give life to a murdered woman as the bride, sparking romance, police interest, and radical social change.
Can anybody help me? Please. I didn't want this. I didn't want any of this. Please. Help. Help. What happened?
You had an accident.
An accident, huh?
We dug you up, and we brought you back to life.
Get on stage, and I call her by her first name.
What do you want with a dead girl?
I'm the same, born from the dead. I am a monster.
Yeah, so am I.
So let's go around the room and talk about our quick thoughts about this movie. And so, real quick, how we'll structure these new releases. We'll do our non-spoiler in the beginning, and then we'll let you know when we do our spoiler. So you
Okay.
can click away if you don't want, if you haven't seen the movie, you don't want to know any spoilers. So I'll start with you, Eric. What is your quick thoughts about this movie?
I remember hearing about it like a few months back, and
Mm.
I like Maggie Gyllenhaal as like an actress. I never saw the movie she made before this. It was called The Lost Daughter. It also had like Jesse Buckley in it. But I heard good things about it, and so I saw the trailers for this, and I was like, this looks kind of silly. Um, and so the reviews started coming out, and it was about a 50-50 split. So I was like, maybe it's just really divisive, and it's very divisive. This movie is kind of weird, kind of wonderful in some ways, but it's also a bit of a mess. And I think the first half is a little more successful than its second half, which kind of just goes off the rails, but also doesn't really do anything after a certain point. I don't know.
What about
It's
you, Jack?
okay.
Yeah.
Is it worth rushing to the theater? No, but it's okay.
What about you, Jackson? What are your thoughts about this movie?
It's definitely divisive, so much so that in my own mind, I'm so divided on it because
Mhm.
I was really into wanting to see it based on like the trailers and just the idea of another sort of novel spin on Frankenstein because I tend to like those more than traditional Frankenstein.
Mhm.
Like I like stuff like Lisa Frankenstein. That's really fun.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah.
And so I went to see it and just wow, it's it really does choices. Yeah, and half the time I was sitting there with my mouth open, just agog. And the other half I was trying really hard to stay awake. So I don't know. I don't know, man. We'll see
Yeah.
how this conversation plays out. Maybe I'll like it more, maybe less. I don't know.
I don't know.
Um, so as far as my quick thoughts go, I was actually really looking forward to this movie because like I talked about in the Del Toro episode, the last one we did. I love Frankenstein. Even though I haven't read the book, I just love,
Hmm.
like the whole Frankenstein thing. Particularly The Bride of Frankenstein, which is my second favorite Universal monster movie. I absolutely adore that movie. I think that movie is such a
Uh,
good insight on in, James Whale's head. Like that is a James Whale movie. Like you want to know
Hmm.
what James Whale is all about? Just watch Bride of Frankenstein. That movie just it's just so it's just so goofy. Um, I love that movie so much that I paid like $30 just to get the steelbook for on 4K. That's how much I love that movie. Um, so it's really looking forward to this movie. I like some of the other ones that they've been coming out with, like Lisa Frankenstein we mentioned. But I really
Sure.
enjoyed the Del Toro version.
Poor Things was the best one
Poor
of these.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I really liked the Angry Black Girl and her monster. I thought that was really good. That was
I
a good
I
kind
didn't
of
never saw
see
that one.
that.
Heard it was good though.
yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
Um, so I was looking forward to this movie, and yeah, like you guys, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, and I knew about the Mary Sally thing, where it's like Mary Sally, and I guess a little bit of a spoiler, but I
Oh,
mean,
you knew about that going into it?
yeah, yeah,
Interesting. I did not know that.
I
That
did
was
not know
that
about
was the
that.
first thing in the movie where I was
That
just like,
was like,
what?
whoa.
And
So
that's like
basically,
top
It's not really a spoiler because it's the beginning. It's the
thing of the
very
movie.
beginning of the
yeah,
Yeah.
movie.
it's not really like
So
consequential if you know it or not. So anyways, so this movie opens up with Mary Sally in, I guess, purgatory, and then she's saying, "Oh yeah, like I don't like how people treated my story, Frankenstein. Like I'm gonna tell my own story. I'm gonna do a sequel to it." And then we get the bride, but it's like, okay, then why the fuck are you setting in like 1930s Chicago? Like that's a cool
Well,
setting, but like,
she's not setting it 1930 Chicago. She just happens to possess this mall who lives in 1930 Chicago.
okay,
She like
I
jumps
guess
into her
I don't
brain
know.
and it like takes
That
over her body. It's the nuts.
that's probably as far as we should go in the
Yeah.
non-spoiler. I mean, we've just spoiled the beginning of the movie, but yeah, we probably shouldn't spoil any more until we get to
You're
that
right.
part.
Yeah, I mean there are a few more things I do want to talk about in the non-spoiler.
Right.
Sure.
The acting pretty decent, like across the board. Like I thought,
Yeah.
Bale with a good Frankenstein monster. Man, that part when he's
Yeah.
talking to Annette Bening's character, and there's a part when he like does like a smile. It's almost exactly the way Carl smiles in those movies. Like it was pretty extraordinary. Um, and then, of course, Jesse Buckley is amazing. Like, it's what's the amount of the shit that he's thrown in this movie. Like, he handled it really good. Even though I'm like, what the fuck most of the time, but she's really good. Um,
Yeah.
and then everybody else is good. Peter Skarsgård makes a good like 1930s detective. Love.
See, I wasn't as crazy about them, that whole subplot with him and
I wasn't either,
I
but
I was just like,
I
what are
did
they
not
even
like
doing
that
here?
plot.
Yeah. His
yeah,
whole thing is just eating. He just eats at every
Like
scene he's in.
he's like Mark Ruffalo in
it
Zodiac.
felt like the cops
Always
in
eating.
Last House on the Left.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like Mark Ruffalo from Zodiac. He just eats the entire time. He's like every like literally look at
But
Zodiac.
that
Like every
it
almost
seems
every
to be the
scene that
only
Ruffalo's
thing
in,
he's
he's
there
eating
for.
something. Like he's eating the animal crackers, he's eating burgers, he's eating the BLT. But no, I like
Yeah. But Skarsgård
Skarsgård.
here is just here to
Yeah, I like Skarsgård's and Penelope Cruz's chemistry. I thought they were pretty good, even though the story that style of the story was kind of bland to me.
they
Annette
could have
Bening
lost it.
was very good in here as the doctor. Um, And I didn't like the setting of this movie, where this was set during a time when women were expected to act a certain way, and then you have this woman being possessed by Mary Sally, and it's having like these weird like spasms of her like acting up and saying like the most
Yeah.
horrendous things imaginable, like, and then she dies in front of like this gangster that she like is hooking up with, and then
Yeah, and and then that's on top of being Frankenstein. Yeah.
yeah, like it's a very bizarre. This is a very bizarre movie.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
There's
the
some
word that
good
comes to
weird in
mind.
it, and there's some bad weird in it.
Mm.
Here's the word that comes to mind, and I don't say this lightly, and I don't use it a lot, but I think it actually fits here. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but I think this movie is actually kind of pretentious.
Yes.
Like,
A little bit.
A
I
little.
think it, I don't know because I don't know Maggie Gyllenhaal, I don't know what her thought process is like, but this is clearly something she's very passionate about. But I feel like it doesn't ever actually get to the heights that she thinks it does, or maybe I just don't see it
Hmm.
right.
Yes.
I don't know, but
I think the thing is the movie is very punk rock in its nature, and I
yeah, it
get that because it fits the themes of the movie.
is.
But then you want
It
us,
is and it isn't. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, and then you want us to take this as like high art, like you're just basically just copying like Todd
Yeah,
Well,
Schrader, essentially.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it does have a lot of like echoes of like the like especially like Folie à Deux in it, like the Joker movie, the sequel.
Mhm.
Um, and I feel like they sort of like set up that promise in like the or of like this like archaic like crazy sort of like anything can go like in that ballroom scene later in the movie, and they never really fulfill that later on. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they're like building towards something and they never really get there by the end.
Yeah, it's also a little
It
bit
just
of
kind of
Bonnie
like
and Clyde a
peters
little bit
out.
too, especially like when they're on the road, like in the woods, like
oh,
trying.
it's lots of Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it is just yeah.
All right, so you guys ready to get into the
It
deep
just
dive?
feels like it's a patchwork. The
Yeah, you guys ready to get into the spoilers?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah, I feel like it's hard to talk about this movie without getting into all that.
so if you guys have not
Yeah.
seen The Bride, here's the spoiler portion, so click out now. So I want to talk about my
Or
biggest
keep
what the
listening.
F.
Maybe you don't want to see pay the money to see it.
So I want to talk about my biggest what the F moment is when they're in the club and they're playing modern music. And it's like 1930s Chicago. Like what like what? You know what I'm talking?
I was all in on that. I was kind of like, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah,
I mean, at that
I
point, it
love
was just like, whatever. Let's go for it. Yeah, they
Yeah,
had
I
that
thought
Fever
it was
Ray.
dumb.
Fever Ray was there. That I loved all that stuff. I was like, oh, okay, cool. We're doing something completely new. And then yeah, like it's I don't know. I just the vibe was all over the place. The movie felt like a patchwork quilt in some ways, where there's just a bunch of different. It's like Frankenstein. It's like a bunch of different like pieces were mashed together and then brought back to life, and it kind of
maybe
works
that's the
sometimes,
point.
and most of the time it's kind of brain dead. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe I like it more because it doesn't quite all connect together right. I don't know.
Right. So the part that connects to that is there's the scene where they go to the club and there's sort of like rave music. And then there's the later scene where they go to like
Mm-hmm.
the high society party
Mm.
Yeah.
and he tries to introduce himself to Jake Gyllenhaal, who is a gem in this movie because he always is.
Yeah.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal as Ronnie Reed, like the happiest
Mm-hmm.
voice in cinema. And all his little scenes where he's in movies, he's like, I want to be loved by you, just you.
Dude, that was like an impression.
Falling on head over heels for you. Yeah, that was terrific. But So Christian Bale's trying to introduce himself to him and he's being very awkward. Of course, Christian Bale probably smells horrible
Mm.
and he looks horrible and it just falls flat. And then all of a sudden the spotlight turns on him and she starts dancing and then all the other women start dancing like her. And I'm like,
Mhm.
what the actual hell is happening right
Yeah.
now?
That was the
Yeah.
that was the putting on the rich scene, right?
Yeah, which is
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
reference to young Frankenstein.
Yeah, I was
Frankenstein.
geeking out
Yeah.
hard doing that. That was awesome.
I was like, yep, they're riffing on young Frankenstein and I don't know what else, but it's a whole bunch of things all at once.
Yeah.
And
Jake
it's
Gyllenhaal
nuts.
has like he has like a lift in one of his shoes, sort of like the original Frankenstein, and there's like all kinds of just like little weird things in there.
Yeah.
I feel like that scene and then like the scene after it where like they're doing that whole like the sort of like riot girl thing where everyone's sort of like taking up arms and
Mm.
everything. It feels like it sets up a promise for the movie that they never do anything with,
Yeah.
and it just kind of everything falls apart. But it felt like they were building. Feels like that scene sort of like a setup for like what may be coming later, and then they don't do that, which I don't know. I go back and forth on it. I don't like how the movie ends, but I don't know what I would have done differently. I don't know. It feels like it just needed to be like a bigger showdown, or she needed to dump Frank. That's the only thing I don't understand about this movie. Is like, why is she even still with Frank by the end of the movie? You know what I mean? Like, he clearly like lied to her, and then she's like, "But I love him." I'm like, why? But why does she love him? I don't know. I don't understand their whole romance.
Nobody
Yeah.
knows. I guess because he's the only person that's gonna love her, although I guess she's supposed to just love herself. Is that the
Right.
point?
Yeah.
Like Poor Things in that way? This is what bothers me is because Poor Things, like I respect all the crazy choices this movie is making, but Poor Things also
Mhm.
made a bunch of crazy choices, but I felt like had a more coherent philosophy that it was
Oh, yeah.
trying to get
Yeah.
into. And this movie
Yeah.
just didn't have that. And like I said, maybe I'm just missing something. I don't know.
Well, Poor Things had vision. That's the thing. Like it had
Yeah.
one central vision from Yorgos Lanthimos. This movie was just all
Yeah.
over the place. It was just like she had this idea. 'Cause I think I heard her say somewhere she wanted to do like a post, Civil War, World War One kind of setting.
Mhm.
When like advancements in science and medicine, were so advanced that like, people were coming out disformed and all that. And
Mhm.
I guess, and then like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, the thing, this movie didn't have any like a lot of thematic stuff going on. I mean, it does, but it's all over the place.
Yeah, she should have dumped Frank and then went on her own thing and did, like started her own like little revolution. Like I feel like that would have been a more satisfying conclusion to her story, like her arc. You know what I mean? She doesn't need um
Yeah, and then
a
the
man
thing
or
is
creator or whatever.
like the Frankenstein in Bride side of the story, like that's his own like thing, and then like the Peter Skarsgård and Penelope Cruz side of the story, it's like a normal detective thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but theirs is just
Weird.
like exposition dump because there's like a mobster who like
Yeah,
just
and
like
well, the thing is,
takes
make the whole
drugs
world
for some
crazy.
reason.
Like make the whole world basket crazy.
Yeah, I wish they had just gotten rid of the Skarsgård stuff and just spent more time with them because I feel like there's just so many like missing pieces, like missing bits
Yeah,
from them.
yeah, and then you find out later in the movie that like he like hooked up with her before she became the bride, or before she became the like the
Yeah, which
Yeah,
I didn't know what that was all about either. I'm just so bewildered by it.
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
this is
I
definitely
don't
a
know.
weird
I
finding.
do think I like the first half of the movie, but I
yeah.
don't quite like the second half of the movie.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
As far
Um,
as stuff I liked about it, like I thought it was shot beautifully.
oh yeah, for
Like
sure.
Yeah,
cinematography is wonderful. The editing is pretty. While there'd be a sequence where I was like, they probably should have spent a little more time cutting this together.
Mm.
hmm
But like, the scene where she's actually falling down the stairs at the beginning of the movie, like when she's about to die, is so amazing.
Mm.
Like because
Yeah.
you're following her in like slow motion, like
I think Jackson froze.
hit her head one way and then hit her leg or arm the other way, and like you're just seeing every piece of her body just break apart. So
Hmm. It's cool too because how they shot that is like it tilts up to this sort
yeah,
of like ink blot, sort of like I guess ethereal plane or something other like the crossing off. I don't know. There was a lot of really cool like visuals in this. I loved all the stuff with like her head in a jar where she has like she feels like she's suffocating and all
hmm
that sort of, which I guess is a dream
Mm.
maybe. Um,
yeah,
and there's some fun kinky monster sex in here too. So that's always good.
Yeah.
a
I
bit, a little bit.
well, I liked how like the fall scene. It was just like what you're saying. Like how graphic it is. It's also just very. It's a very epic like
Hmm.
scene as well. Which I really like.
It is. I've never seen anybody fall down the stairs quite
Yeah.
like that in a movie.
Right. It's usually like a
Hold
quick.
on just a second.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about this movie with Eric while Jackson's away?
Oh, this movie, I was like Jackson was saying, like constantly, like sort of just like couldn't believe what they were doing. Like it didn't compute. And so those are the parts of the movie that I kind of just like loved is that there were so many like off the wall choices. From like the Mary Shelley thing at the top that kind of carries through to like the
Yeah.
postmodern
What
or
do you think
the
that was about?
anachronistic stuff. To be honest, I don't really know like why she decided to write Mary Shelley into the movie as a character that possesses her. Or maybe that's not the case. Maybe that's all metaphorical. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
Well, that was
perplexed, bewitched,
yeah.
flummoxed by
Well,
this thing.
what was so interesting about that scene is like if you're a creator and you're creating or like a storyteller and you're creating something, you become your own god basically in a
Yeah,
weird way
yeah. I
because
mean that's what this movie is about.
yeah, you're creating your own
Creators and
characters, and you're basically making them do what you want
Yeah.
them to do. You can decide to make them live or die or want your so you kind of play God a little bit when you're a storyteller. And I think maybe that it was what Maggie Gyllenhaal was trying to get at to some extent.
maybe we'll say yes. We'll say
Free is God, and
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
you know,
then it's like when they get pulled over in the middle of the movie, and then the bride is letting the police officer fill her up, and then it's like Mary Sally is questioning like why you letting him do that to you? It's like,
yeah,
oh no, we're the one telling the story, Mary. Make her fight
But is
back.
she? Is she though? Because she just by the end, she's just asking her like what her name is. Is it creating something and then giving your creation agency? Is it sort of like being like a parent in some ways
Yeah,
where you have to let go of it at some point and then hope that they can live on their own? I don't know. Maybe that's what it is.
right. Well, and also
I don't
apparently
know.
this movie was supposed to be a lot more violent than it actually became.
Interesting. Yeah, it's not super violent. I mean,
hmm.
there's some violence in it, but it's not like
Yeah, it's nothing that I've never seen. Yeah, it's all the standard stuff.
sure.
I mean,
It's a
probably
head
the most
crusher.
graphic
One,
scene is like Frankenstein stopping the dude's head in. Like that brief shot was pretty hard to watch, but
Yeah, yeah.
I like that part.
no, I loved it.
That
It was,
was
it was fucking
cool.
awesome, but it was like, ooh, God, I didn't think they were gonna actually like so in graphic detail for like a second. But yeah, I don't know, man.
I love how this movie just kind of kept me off balance the whole time for the most
Mm.
part. Or I didn't at some
Yeah,
points I was like, I don't know. I don't know what's coming next. And I think that is,
You really
the
can't
biggest
tell.
compliment for the whole movie is that I was like, I have no idea where this is
No,
going.
I do want to ask you guys a
But then it
question.
ultimately goes where I think it is gonna go. You know what I mean? I think that's why I'm so disappointed by the end. Is like it just becomes Bonnie and Clyde. You know?
Yeah, so I do want to ask you a
Yeah,
question. Do
sure.
you think Frankenstein was in those movies, or do you think he was just picturing himself in those movies?
He's picturing himself in those movies. I believe.
Yeah,
I don't think he was in the movies.
It
Like
would have to be that because
they're
at the
all.
end they're at the
Yeah.
and he's picturing both of them, and they're having the conversation that they're having in the
Mm-hmm.
car, but everybody else can see and hear it somehow. And
yeah,
huh,
Yeah. There's
so
just
bizarre.
yeah. Well, there's also
which
that.
I get.
Well,
Yeah. What is the point of that too? Like him
yeah,
like imagining those and fantasizing them. I
yeah.
don't
Well,
know.
and then there's also that part when they're watching like that Bela Lugosi movie, and then like they become
Okay.
part of the movie, and then like there was another weird like scene where like the guy was basically like getting all handsy was his date, and then
Hmm.
he kept telling him to stop, and then the bride is like, "Hey, he told you to stop that," and then he pauses for a second, goes look at the girl or the woman, and he's like, "Well, if you want to do it, you can." So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm like, I mean, we don't want to get too deep in that, but like, I mean, like some girls kind of like it a little bit rough, but it's like clearly see that it's not consenting to this. He's not into this.
Yeah, she kept saying no, and now I think that was the point of the scene is,
Right.
I don't think
I
it's
think.
saying anything profound about that, but it's nice to for movies to point things out like that, you
I
know.
get that, but then it's like, and I'm glad that the bride stood up to her, but then she was like, "Well, if you want to, you can." And like no, like he clearly is not consenting to this at all.
Well, but she's talking about societal mores. I think more than anything of just of women having to be
Mhm.
subjugated and like having to say no. Like or only being able to say yes or no. You know what I mean? Like it's not her will that. Is she saying like basically sexual liberation? Do your thing. You want to get down, get down.
Right.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah. I actually even heard somebody say that whole scene when the audience was freaking out over them being monsters
Hmm.
was like something straight out of like the show, The Monsters. Which I thought
Oh
was kind
yeah,
of
like some of
interesting.
the dialogue in this movie is nuts. Like the guy
Like
who
when they say
like
Monster Mass at
is
the
like
end, which was kind
trying
of
to give it.
goofy.
Oh man, I kind of love the monster mash drop. You'll drop at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
It made me
it's
laugh
just like
so
again,
good.
I just don't know where Maggie Gyllenhaal's head was at when like at all when she was making this movie. Only, I mean, Lisa Frankenstein got super crazy, but I can tell that like Zelda Williams and Dakota Dalva Cody was trying to do kind of like a Heather's 80s Tim Burton kind of thing.
Mhm.
Like I don't know what this
Sure.
was because this
I
is
don't.
I
I
don't
kind of like
either.
it
I
because
really.
it doesn't follow those guidelines. Because it is just a whole bunch of things going at the screen at once. I mean, Lisa Frankenstein's great. I enjoyed it, but it is just Heather's again. In some ways. So it's just kind of like this
Yeah.
is something completely new. And does it work all the time? No, absolutely not. Like there's parts of this movie that are completely baffling and that don't work at all. But
right.
when it does, it does. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, and
I'm
it's like okay, so you have like Mary Shelley as like a narrator possessing this character.
mhm.
Again, you don't get the point of that. It's set in the 1930s, but yet they go to a club that plays like 1990s like rave style Nine Inch Nails type music. Um, the monster become part of the movies that they're watching.
Mhm.
And then that's like the A story. Then the B story is like the most normal like detective thing you've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah. I wasn't the B story. I wasn't crazy about.
yeah.
But I
Like I
was
said,
I was
I
I
thought
loved all the other stuff, like all those
yeah, and I thought
anachronistic sort of
Skarsgård did
things.
it, and Penelope Cruz did a decent enough job with what they were given.
Eh,
Yeah, I
they
didn't
they
even think they were very good.
I thought
I
they were
thought
they
sleepwalking
were
through their roles for the most part.
fine.
I mean, I didn't think they were. I
They're
didn't.
both actors I really like. Not in this
Sure,
movie.
same.
Yeah, I didn't think they were fantastic, but I thought they were decent enough.
Yeah. Plus, they had the worst dialogue of anyone
Yeah,
because
and
it
they
was just
deliver
the
a
most
bunch of it.
obvious kind of stuff. Yeah, it was a lot of dialogue.
Yeah,
Just a
I will
lot of
say.
exposition.
I will
Just a
say I
lot of
liked how
plot.
Skarsgård actually kept praising Penelope Cruz's character, saying that she was better of like the detectives. And when he resigns, yes, he gives up his badge to her. I like that. That was kind of neat, especially in a movie set in this time where there's like a lot of misogyny kind of going on. I thought that was kind of different, like kind of thing to do.
Another thing I did like, and this is something I was scrolling through the letterbox reviews and people were pointing this
Mhm.
out. I love that they just spend half this movie going to the
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Like it becomes a plot point.
Somebody,
That's how they get caught later in the movie.
somebody posted in their review that there's a scene in this movie where Frankenstein almost has a panic attack because he can't go to the movies, and I can't relate to anything harder.
Yeah, that's funny. Now I want to ask you guys a question.
So,
Did you like the makeup on the bride at all?
On the bride,
Yeah.
I don't know. I dug all the black ink sort of stuff they had going
I actually
on.
did.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was like a fun, cool take on it. I thought Christian Bale's makeup was fine, but it was still kind of just like same old sort of like Frankenstein stuff we'd seen before, you know.
Yeah.
So I dug all like the ink blot stains and everything.
I loved it. I think it's gonna be
You
a
know.
big Halloween costume this year.
Maybe this movie bombed at the box office. Nobody saw it, so
It's gonna be a cult. It's gonna be a cult hit.
oh, for sure.
yeah, it probably will be. Yeah, you're probably right about that.
There'll be some Halloween costumes this year.
Yeah, and then I agree with you with Frankenstein makeup. I thought that was just kind of generic. Like we kind of seen it before.
Yeah.
Do you like Annette Bening's character at all?
I didn't really, and maybe I missed it at the top. It's like I don't understand like how Frankenstein knew that she was like a mad scientist, you
Mhm.
know, or like he just shows up there, was like I'm looking for you, and then she's just like I don't know, maybe I just missed it, but like she's fine, but I don't know, I don't know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't really have much to do other than just like building Jesse Buckley's bride, and then she's out of the movie until the very end. And at the end, she's just like, I'm performing scientific experiments to see why he's decaying. I don't know. There's just weird choices
Yeah.
happening with every
I will say
character.
I did like the fact that Frankenstein was 100, the monster was 100 years old.
Sure, that had been the same Frankenstein
Yeah.
since the original sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was cool, and that was a cool tie with the whole Mary Shelley of it all, because as I found out that in the book that a bride, they're trying to make a bride, but like the bride isn't like a character
Mm.
necessarily, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting. And actually, the Bride of Frankenstein, the James Well version, pulls a lot more from the book.
Interesting.
From what I understand. 'Cause the monster talks, he visits the blind man, the whole,
Sure.
um, the whole, they're making a bride thing,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty cool. Um,
I don't know how they spent $80 million in this movie. I mean, I guess it's because they shot on location in New York and places, and then plus actor fees and everything. And it probably just balloons up quickly.
yeah, I will say,
Yeah, a lot of money for a
yeah,
movie
going-
as weird and wild as this.
going back to the makeup part of this movie with the bride,
Mhm.
I was thinking like earlier today that like yeah, that's pretty impressive that they made a makeup for the Bride of Frankenstein just as iconic as like the Elsa Lanchester version. Like that's a feat.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, I mean, it's that black and white sort of like taking like her hair, taking that sort of like
Hmm.
the duality of it, and then like just applying it to like skin and ink. I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah.
I dug it.
Normally, a makeup job like that would bother me because it would make me think of like people having food on their mouth or something like
Sure.
that, which is
Yeah.
something I cannot stand.
Mhm.
Is like people having food on their mouth, but it didn't bother me in this. I thought it looked actually cool. So
Well, then it's.
I
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. I was just saying, yeah, I really enjoyed it in this case.
Yeah. Well, it's also kind of an ode to the Dark Knight a little bit, where like Heath Ledger's makeup was kind of fucked up and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I wish we had gotten to see a little more of it, like some of the because she has them like she has like those like that black and white like the ink scars going down like her arms and it's across like her chest and everything. I wish we only could see like little flashes of it. I wish we had got to see a little more.
Yeah. I
of
kind
the
of wanted
makeup.
like the streak, the white streak in her hair a little bit, like in the original.
I mean, her hair is fully white in this one,
yeah,
Yeah, but I
so it would have
wanted
been a black. It would have been a black streak in her
yeah, like a
hair,
black streak, like you know what I mean. I thought that would have
like
been
an inverted one. Yeah, I get it.
yeah, that would have been pretty cool. Yeah, so there's that. Um, it's just kind of cool that like Maggie Gyllenhaal and Kristen Bale like reunited, and instead of acting together, like she gets to direct them.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought
I
that
mean,
was
I think she'd worked. Maggie Gyllenhaal worked with all of these people before in some capacity. Maybe not. I can't remember if she'd worked with Penelope Cruz or not. But
yeah. She
like
worked with
Skarsgård's her
Jake Gyllenhaal.
husband. Yeah.
Yeah, she worked with
Gyllenhaal's her
Gyllenhaal
brother.
on
Yeah.
Darko. But yeah, I was gonna say something else. I totally forgot.
Frankenstein.
Yep, Frankenstein.
It's, it's just this movie is wonderfully weird and kind of a mess, and I love some of it, and then I just am flabbergasted, like absolutely flummoxed by other parts of it. Sometimes for
Yeah.
the better, sometimes for the good, and sometimes for the worse. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, it was definitely an interesting movie for sure.
It was an interesting take on it, yeah. Which
Yeah.
last week when we did Guillermo del Toro's and Jackson and I complained that it was just like it's just Frankenstein again.
Mhm.
We were asking for it, we got it.
This one is definitely not just that. This one
Yeah.
is. I can admire the absolute, audacity of it, if nothing else.
Sort of,
Right.
yeah, that go for broke, yeah, throwing everything
Right.
at it.
Yeah. So if you guys can make your own Frankenstein movie, what would you do with it?
Oh
God.
shoot, if you could make I don't know. I mean,
I know what I would do.
I would set it in biblical times, and someone is
Ooh.
trying to resurrect Jesus, but it's Frankenstein.
Frankenstein, Frankenstein Jesus.
Yeah, there you go.
I-
Jesus sign.
I got one.
Yeah.
So mine would be a direct sequel to The Bride of Frankenstein. And instead of them dying in the castle explosion, they actually survive. And the whole thing just becomes a romantic comedy, but in like in black and white.
So it's this movie. You it's this movie, but more
Yeah,
comedy.
but done in the James Whale like classic Universal style.
Mm.
And I'll just make reference and like I'm thinking like I just thought this it would be really funny. There's like a montage in the movie, and it's just them recreating like almost every iconic like scene in a romance movie. So it's like it would be them like recreating the I'm flying scene from Titanic. It would be them recreating the spaghetti scene
Oh
from
my God.
Yep.
Oh,
That'd be funny. We get the same scene from Pulp
it
Fiction.
would be a funny little montage. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Except I've seen that kind of montage in spoof movies before. I
They
don't
did do
even
it in
see it
Airplane. Yeah, they've done it in Airplane. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if it's the Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein,
Okay.
that'd be funny, dude. But it would be more than that. Like it would be a whole
I know you couldn't sustain an entire movie with just that, but
yeah,
you can make a montage out of it.
dude. That'd be fun. Like I thought about that like for a couple of months. I'm like that'd be kind of cool to like continue that side of the story because that always bummed me out that this movie was called The Bride of Frankenstein. and then she's only in it for like 5 minutes.
Hmm.
So I thought it'd be pretty cool if like we continue like their story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like yeah, to do that to rom-com, even though I don't like rom-coms a whole lot.
I mean, you really pitched it as a rom-com, so it
Yeah,
makes me think
it
that
would
you
it would
kind of
have to be it would
secretly
have
like
it
rom-coms.
would have to be a rom-com, but done in black and white.
Okay.
What about you, Jackson? If you could do your own Frankenstein movie, what would you?
Oh God. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it would be more something like Frankenstein and the monster, like a little sort of like what you said, but with no Bride of Frankenstein. They
Mm.
just become friends at the end, but they move in together, and one of
It's
them
a
is
buddy
really
comedy.
sloppy. It's like the Odd
Is it
Couple.
Hagko?
One of them's really neat, and one of them's really sloppy. But it's not who you'd think. The monster is really neat, and he like
Mm-hmm.
cooks and cleans, and
Yeah,
then Victor is like an absolute slob, and
I can see that.
that's so stupid. That's the stupidest idea anyone's ever had.
No, that's funny. No, it's like freaking Monsters University, the prequel to Monsters Incorporated, where you
Right.
think like Mike Rodowski would be the party animal and Sully would be like the nerdy bookworm straight A student. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
complete opposite. It's like Mike is the straight A student and Sully's the party animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be funny. Uh, yeah, I want to write this down. I'm gonna do the rom-com version of
Oh
Bride.
my God.
That'd be so
Write
awesome.
you, write you some fan fiction.
Yep. I thought of another funny idea for a movie where the Grim Reaper grows a conscience and then feels bad for killing people. And he like starts like a whole family.
Like a little family
I
of
mean, it,
reapers.
I guess so, but like you'd be like Renfield basically, but with the Grim Reaper.
Okay.
Hey man,
isn't that sort of like the way the Grim Reaper is on Family Guy, though? Because he's kind of a nice guy on that show.
yeah, I guess I don't watch Family Guy.
Oh, he shows up every once in a while, and it was voiced by Norm Macdonald.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah,
I gotta look that up. That's hilarious. I can just picture his voice.
yeah, it's
Um,
just like occasionally he would show up in an episode or something like that.
he's like, "Oh hey, Peter, I'm the Grim Reaper, and I'm about to kill you."
Yeah, but
I feel like
I
you're
can't
Norm
remember what
Macdonald.
happens. I feel like he like gets Peter to help him or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Hey Peter,
Mm.
need you to help me. I'm Norm Macdonald of the Grim Reaper. I can't do Norm Macdonald.
Let's say your Norm Macdonald voice sounds just like your
Norm Macdonald is
Stan
more like
Winston voice.
he's more like this. He says things and it's almost like he's getting when he says it.
That's
I
fun.
don't know. I can't really do him either, but
Dude, one of my favorite Treehouse of Horror episodes is when Homer becomes the Grim Reaper, and then he's at like a sporting event with Bart, and everybody's blocking him, and he keeps going
Mm-hmm.
down like the road, and he keeps touching people, and they keep dying. And he's like, you're dead, be worm food." Like that's
I love
pretty.
those Treehouse of Horrors episodes.
Yeah, those are always a fun time. Let's
I mean, this movie does kind of feel that way. This movie does kind of feel like a Treehouse of Horror episode in some ways, but extended to 2 hours.
yes, a Treehouse of Horror set in the 30s that plays rave music and has monster sex in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like the Simpsons did. Simpsons did it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um. So let's get to favorite part and least favorite part, and then we'll do our rating.
Okay.
So I'll start with you, Eric. What is your favorite part and least favorite part of this movie?
Favorite part. I mean, just the. Woo. I will say my favorite part of this movie is just the absolute, just bonker ass way the movie is kind of constructed and told. For the first like hour or so, I did not know what was going to happen next. From just like the opening monologue with Mary Shelley of all people to like her becoming like a vigilante, like like a Joker-esque sort of revolutionary. Yeah, that's my whole the first hour of this movie I think is weird and kind of wonderful and always kept me guessing. There's some bad in there
Mhm.
too, but I enjoyed it for the most part the first hour. And then my least favorite part is the second half, which is very doesn't really do much. It's just more Bonnie and Clyde. We get a lot more of Skarsgård and Penelope Cruz, and we just get a
Mm.
lot of exposition on things that I don't care about. And then it just ends just kind of how I thought it was going to end, but in a weirder, lamer way, where she just shows up at the doctor, and then the guy who had been hunting her from the mob shoots her, but then that causes the cops to just unload all the bullets on him too. And I'm just like, what? It's just an unsatisfying round out for all of the events that happened before this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Jack? What's your favorite part and least favorite part?
My favorite part is still Jake Gyllenhaal, just like pretending to be Fred Astaire and singing those sort of like Cole Portery type songs, just la da 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 da.
I'm Jake
Right.
Gyllenhaal.
It sort of reminded me of did you ever see that John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch special on
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Netflix where Jake Gyllenhaal plays Mr. Music and it's the best performance he's ever given in his career.
Oh my God,
that's
that's saying a lot.
that's what it sort of reminded me of, and I thought it was delightful because they did a good job of creating like the sound and feel of those like old like early
Mm-hmm.
sound musicals, from like the mid 30s and
Mm.
stuff.
Oh
So yeah.
yeah, and your least favorite part?
It's got to be the ending, not just the second half of the movie, because there was still some stuff I kind of liked in the second half, not as much, but at the very end when like the nurse comes in and they start quoting lines from Romeo and Juliet all of a sudden, and I'm just like, why? Oh no, no, it was fine when they were just laying on the table dead. You didn't have to invoke fucking Shakespeare in this moment, but yeah, they did. Okay. And then I guess they both hear Mary Shelley say something. I can't even remember because Mary Shelley's dialogue in this movie is so fast and over the top. Uh, I couldn't even tell what she was saying a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Although I did like Jesse Buckley switching back and forth between the two
Like
voices.
mid scene. Yeah, no, that was
Yeah, like
always
mid
super
sentence
interesting.
sometimes
Yeah.
she would just switch back and forth because she's amazing, and I hope
Mm-hmm.
she wins an Oscar for Hamnet. But
Oh
and
yeah.
I
She's really
and I
good in
thought she was
Hamnet.
good in this,
Yeah, I thought
just going for it.
I
So
really dug her transatlantic accent. I thought that was really funny.
she was good.
Yeah.
Like she can kind of do anything as an actor. She's a spectacular actor. So
Yeah.
Oh
can't
yeah.
fault her for anything I didn't necessarily like about this movie. It's nothing to do
Yeah.
with her, that's for sure.
Fully committed. For
Yeah.
Yeah.
better or worse. Yeah.
I'm gonna say my favorite part is the putting on the rich scene. Just I love that reference to Young Frankenstein, and then just hearing Kristen Bale as this character yell, "Put it on the rich!" at
See,
the end.
that's where I thought the
Yeah.
whole movie was gonna be like a big comedy. I thought they're about to pull the rug and we were just gonna do a full blown like comedy at that point.
They
Kind of
started
wish it had
playing
of.
that song, and I did not expect Christian Bale to actually go full Peter Boyle at
Uh-huh.
the end of it, but he did, and that was pretty great. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll say my least favorite part is that rave scene. That was dumb. But like, what was the point of putting modern music in there? Like, did it just did it literally just like step foot into like a time portal and like went to like modern times? Like, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
Mary Shelley is like projecting herself from an eternal black void and possessing Jesse Buckley, so
Yeah,
they can
so
do
I don't
anything,
think
I
it
guess, at this
matters.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they did stuff like that in Sinners, and you liked that.
that's true.
Yeah. But it's what I don't know. Um, and then that get into rating. Jackson, what is your rating for this movie?
I mean, like I said, I don't know that I got this movie. I know I didn't get it.
Hmm.
But I'm not gonna dismiss it out of hand. So I'm gonna give it like a 5.5.
Okay. A 5.5. And what about you, Eric?
I'm in the same boat. There was enough in here that I liked that I didn't feel like I wasted all my time and my money. So it's like a 6. It's a 6. I give it a solid 6.
Awesome.
It's not any better than a 6, but it's a 6.
Yeah, I'm with you on the same boat there, Eric. With the 6. I think this movie's entertaining enough where I didn't regret seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I probably wouldn't watch it anytime soon. To be completely honest.
I mean, like once it comes to streaming, I will probably watch it again just out of like sheer curiosity, just to see
same.
if I miss something. But yeah, just bonkers.
Yeah, this
Go
is
see
like one of the craziest movies I've ever seen. This is like the most batshit crazy Frankenstein movie I've ever seen, which probably makes sense, just given like the storyline of this man, like animating life. Like it's pretty batshit crazy, but I don't think there was really like a point to a lot of. Or at least, I mean, there probably was, but I didn't really get it. Where compared,
Yeah.
we're talking about
Yeah, that's fair.
four things where that made a lot more sense to me.
I mean, I guess the point is feminism, but
Mm-hmm.
I can think of so many other movies that make that point better. That said, to certain types of people, I would absolutely recommend them watching it, you know?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would have no problem saying to certain people, "Hey, you should watch this. It's insane."
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, and they might like it. They might like it more than me, and that'd be cool. And then maybe
Yeah.
we could talk about it, and they could help
And
me
then they could
understand what the
explain
fuck
it
was
to you.
going on. So,
Right. So, anyways, guys, if you like this episode,
What's the official score? What's the official score?
oh yeah, fuck, I forgot. So I gave it a 6. Eric gave it a 6. Jackson gave it a 5.5.
I'll just give it a 6 to make it easy. To give it make the
Oh
rating
my
is
god,
Hold on.
stop
666.
You're freaking
Yeah.
your score in the middle of it.
It was going to
Well,
round up to a
666.
6 anyway.
Okay,
Yeah,
Jackson,
6.
I'm gonna let that slide this time. But in the future, once you're locking your score, you're locking it in. Like we're not changing it. We're not doing this bullshit anymore.
I just made it
Well, I changed
easier
my
for you to do
score.
the math because
We're
it's
not. We're
6.
not. Okay, well, I have an average calculator, Jackson. I don't need help.
Well, now I'm going to change my score to a 5.5.
Now, no, it's a 6 across the board.
Going back down. You keep saying that, I'm going to drop it another point.
No, I'm not changing it. Fuck you.
So it's a 6. Brad's a 6.
Yeah, thank you for doing my fucking job for me, asshole.
You're welcome.
Yep, just for that, I'm gonna keep Jackson 5.5.
It's still a 6. It still rounds out to be a 6.
Okay, well, okay, so I'm in you both. Okay, so I gave it a 6, Eric gave it a 6, and Jackson gave it a 5.5, making the overall official horror sci-fi beyond score for The Bride a 6. Okay, you guys can unmute yourself now. You can unmute yourself.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Either
Yeah.
way,
So
I
you
changed my
still
score to
landed on a
5.5.
6. So
Yeah,
me
yeah.
saying
But from
something
here,
made no
but from
difference at
now
all.
on, once you get your score, it's locked in. You're not changing it. I'm not changing it ever again.
Man, I changed scores on movies like all the
Okay, well, too
like
fucking
I will
bad.
like something at the beginning of the week, and then like by the end of the day I'll change it.
I'm the captain too,
Just
okay?
saying.
I'm the captain. Look at me, okay? I'm the captain.
Gosh.
Quoting like Captain Phillips at me.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
I've never seen that movie. I just said that line.
Everybody knows that line. It's the most famous line in the movie.
Yeah. Captain now. Okay. But anyways, guys, if you like this episode and you want to see more spooky and weird content, make sure you slash that subscribe button and follow us at Horror Sci-Fi and Beyond on Facebook. And also, don't forget to leave this episode a killer comment and give it a King Kong size thumbs up. And as always, guys, this has been Drew from Horror Sci-Fi and Beyond. Over and out. Bye. And never forget to stay weird like this fucking movie.